Welcome, everybody. Before we totally get started, I'm just going to say that I wish to acknowledge that we are on and working from the ancestral, traditional, and unceded Indigenous territories of the Anishinaabe Nation, and in particular the Mississauga of the New Credit First Nation, on whose territory we work, live, and play, and on whose territory we stand, lands where our Métis ancestors also settled. So welcome, everybody. I know many of you, there are a few that I don't know. So I'm going to start with the people who I don't know. I'm going to ask you to tell me a little bit about who you are and what you would really like to get out of your time with us today. So let me start with who's on iPad?
Me.
Who's
Kate.
me?
Kate.
Oh, Kate, welcome. Okay, I'm not starting with you because I know you. So Marie S. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, that's me. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So I'm here with my friend Josh.
Hello.
Hi, Josh.
I saw a little thing about this event on Facebook. I love poetry. I thought I would check it out.
What would you like to get out of it?
Maybe some more skills with writing, just hear some other perspectives on poetry or other poems.
Thank you. And Josh, what about you?
Yep. I just wanted the workshop. I just like to learn a little bit more about poetry. I'm very new to the medium, and I just like to either get better at writing it or better at understanding it and just like ingesting it.
Thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
What about Kay? Kay, you have to unmute yourself. From Kay to everybody, I'm open. Okay, I get it. Okay, I will do my best. Britta.
Hi there. I hope it's not too much noise in the background. I've got a washing machine on full spin just now, so I'll be on mute for at least another 10 minutes. I'm in Scotland, so it's evening here just now. It's dark, it's absolutely horrendous out there. So I'm hoping for some inspiration, something to cheer me up on a cold Monday evening.
Well, I'm just amazed. Welcome. And I'll get you to talk as much as possible because I love your accent. Thank you. Okay, so now with the people who I know. Tanya, nice to see your face.
Oh, hello. Hello, honey.
Hi.
What I'd like to get out of attending today. I'm kind of new at poetry myself, and so I would just like to keep working at it. Because I don't consider myself too much as a creative person, but that's something that I'm interested in learning more about myself, and the way I do that is by learning from others. So thank you.
Oh, well, you're so welcome. And you're already a published poet. Figment should really know about this because you came on last year, and then the brilliant Ruth had a project that you participated in, and you're part of a historical document called Poemdemic. So anyway, one little afternoon and things change. Welcome, Thundercloud. Welcome, Mr. C. Puppet what? So next, Kate Kitchen, talk to us.
Okay, is my microphone on?
Yes.
Oh, good. I'm new to doing this because I've been in that river valley with no connection. So I was pretty excited that I would be able to connect today since I'm in Peterborough. So I do like writing poetry, and I haven't done any for a few months. So I thought this was a great way to get started again.
Oh, so great to hear your voice and to know that you're here. Welcome.
You too.
Robin, let's hear from you.
Hello. I am just. I've missed whatever the intro was. My apologies. I had to click about a million things saying join event that kept going to Eventbrite pages. So
I apologize for that. You aren't the only one.
But yeah, hi.
Hi. So I was asking what it is that that you would like to get out of this.
I don't really know. I write poetry. I had to write a poem just recently for a video I'm going to be shooting after this finishes.
Wow.
So my brain's going to be in and out a little because I have to be setting up for that as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just here to be here and to see what is going on here.
Well, you're so very welcome. Thundercloud. You have to unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello.
Surprise. It's Michelle Rosano, aka
Oh my
Thundercloud.
goodness. Welcome.
How are you?
I'm well. What do you expect to get out of this?
Well, I'm a bit of a poet, and you did inspire me many years ago. Thank you so much, Miigwech.
Pleasure.
And I'm a little under the weather, so I'm just tapping in right now, and I may have to leave shortly. I was hoping just to get inspired hearing some poetry from others, and I'm actually working on with Sheeter right now. I'm promoting on a communications team with Sheeter, and what we're promoting is elder abuse prevention, and it's a bunch of podcasts and panels. So that's sort of what I'm doing and working for Building Roots and food security and counseling and advocacy. So I thought maybe I could get, a little inspired, staying in a lot lately, and listen to some words from people, and who knows, maybe shoot a quick poem if I'm still on.
You're very welcome. I'm glad you're here. Hello, Bill. Let's hear from you.
Hey, I'm just here to be inspired and I don't know, just do some writing. I've got some writing projects going on, and yeah, just being with people is always lovely. So thanks, honey. Thanks, everybody.
So good to see you again. So, Lisa.
Hi.
Hi.
It's been a long time since I saw you. In fact, it's been a long time since I saw anybody outside of my very close circle here, the family and so on. I'm here to get inspired. You're the one group that I join for poetry. And I'm looking forward to hearing everybody else's metaphors and their expressions. I just really enjoy hearing the way other people express themselves.
Thank you and welcome.
Thank you. And by the way, honey,
yes,
may I
yes.
may I just say congratulations to you. I did read a while ago in the Star about you winning the Hero Award, Urban Hero Award. And then I looked at some more information, and I found that you have quite a wonderful literary background. But so congratulations for your latest award, the Urban Hero.
Thank you. It was I was nominated by the incredible Ruth. So why don't you say something, Ruth? And Kathy, I'll come back to you in a minute.
Well, thank you, honey. Hi, everybody. Wonderful to be here. And I relish the opportunity to be together with all of you.
Thank you. So Kathy, that wasn't too long a wait.
Yeah. Hello, honey, and hi, everyone. I just wanted to listen to some poetry today to be inspired, and maybe to read some of mine, and to learn more about the process of what's involved in writing poetry and how other people approach it and their techniques and skills, etc. and now I might be enlightened that way.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
So Elaine, anything else you want to add?
I was just looking forward to hearing people's words and sharing some of my own words. And as always, I'm excited to attend your poetry workshops.
Oh, bless you.
Very grateful for it.
Thank you. Thank you. Penny.
Hi, everyone. I'm unmuted. I'm very glad to be here with everyone, and I'm also looking for some inspiration. I would like to do a little writing. I've kind of gotten out of the practice of writing, so I'm hoping to be inspired to do some writing. And good to be with you all.
Okay, thank you and welcome. So now I have to prove myself. Oh my goodness. First of all, I want to say that the fact that we are all here together means that we are all connected on some level. So if you can just join me in imagining, okay, that we are all of many things. We're bones and we're blood and we're people and we're spirit, but we're also energy vibrations. And I believe that that is where the connection is. And so having said that, I think rather than have you listen to me, I prepared a whole bunch of exercises of various kinds. So if anybody, has any comments or anything, now's the time. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to get into it. Oh, good. Silence, which means I can go forward. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to point to or say your name. Okay, so you don't have a whole lot of time, but I will give you a clue. I'm going to say one word and I want you to respond, okay, without any thinking, because that is what I want to really deal with, is no thinking, just imagination, just an experience of words, ideas, thoughts, familiarity with one another as we go along. And that word is take. Okay, that's the only preparation you get. So I'm going to start with Thundercloud. Take.
Grateful.
Oh, okay. Kate Kitchen. Take.
Time.
K.
Time.
Great. K. K, you're muted. Are you going to do this on chat? Advantage. Oh, very good. Very good. Robin. Oh, you're muted.
Advantage. Yeah, it takes us a moment to unmute.
Okay.
Advantage.
Oh,
no, that's what the other person just said.
Yes.
Action. I want action.
Excellent. Me too. Britta.
Notice.
Go ahead.
Notice. Take notice.
Excellent. Lowbell.
Time. Take time.
Excellent. Roxanne, are you going to participate?
I'll pass on this one. I'm just watching.
Okay. Marie.
Give.
And
Take
I got
what?
one.
Give.
Take what?
Give.
Josh?
Want.
All right. Tanya. Unmute.
Somebody took the one that I was gonna say. So Grace.
Thank you. Elaine. Sorry? Unmute. Unmute. Can't hear ya.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, someone gave my word, so take. And was share already used?
No, we're good with that. Thank you. Kathy.
Here.
Oh, excellent. Ruth.
Receive.
Penny.
Heart.
Say that again.
Heart.
Yes. Lisa.
I thought of give first and then share, and they were both taken. So I'm going to say to have.
Mine was take me out to the ball game. Anyway. So that's just a little bit of an idea of what you might be able to expect. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Low bill, yes. Thank you. Okay. Anybody not? I think that's what I should ask. No? Okay, good. So, next. Okay. All right, then we'll just continue with that kind of thinking. All right, this is the next step in, no thinking. So pay attention. Did you hear about the beaver riding on a moose, drinking good old maple syrup juice? He goes in a bar, doesn't get very far before someone says, Lisa.
Hey.
Penny.
What do you want?
Ruth.
Oh my.
Kathy.
What can I do you for?
Elaine.
Why are you here?
Tanya.
How can I help you?
Wow. Marie.
What's up?
Josh.
I'm loose.
Lovell.
Living the dream.
Robin. I love that cartoon, Robin.
Says nothing, and there's a long, awkward silence.
Ooh, very intriguing. Britta.
Where's the loo?
Kay, I got your message on chat. Kate.
I like your tail.
Thundercloud. Roseanne. Michelle.
I'm off. I'm off. I ride. I'm a rat, and I ride the back of an ox.
Very good. Thank you.
I don't know.
Thank you. So, Britta, do those images, do they mean anything to you? A beaver and a moose and maple syrup and all that?
Yeah, that I'm fine with. There may be others where I'm not, but that's fine, thanks.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure because, you really are a most welcome, unexpected guest from the old sod, Caledonia. Okay, so now I'm going to get a little bit more serious. I want you to think of yourself as a noun, okay? So you start with I am, and then I'll give you about a few seconds, 30 seconds, something like that. Just think of yourself as a noun. For example, this is me. I am a daughter, a friend, a cousin, a singer, a poet, a consumer, a car driver, like that. A tenant, a Torontonian. So just think of all of the I am, because what essentially we're doing is creating a list poem. Okay, so starting with yourself, and if you want to write it down, you're very welcome. But nouns, okay, nouns. So why don't we honor the only brave male with us? Josh, why don't we start with you? you have to unmute. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So I put, I am a person, I am a worker, I am a bike rider, I am a terrific Scrabble player, and I am a cook.
Wow, thank you. So in doing that exercise, did it ever cross, and I'm going to ask everybody this, did it ever cross your mind that some of the words used to describe yourself are more than nouns, like they're descriptors rather than just nouns?
Yes, it crossed my mind a lot, actually.
And what did you think?
I thought, well, some of the ones I wanted to put down, I thought this is more of an adjective than a noun, so I shouldn't put it down.
Like what?
Like I put, I am happy, like, or I put things like I am adventurous. That was one I really wanted to put down, but I was like, that's not really a noun, so I can't put that down.
Oh my God, Marie, he's brilliant, right?
I try.
You don't have to. So anybody want to go next? Thank you.
Want to go next?
Yes, please.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Well,
Kathy. Kathy.
Okay. I put, I am a microscope. I am a seeker. I am a wound. I am a healing scar. I am a heart that's still beating.
Wow, thank you. And so did it cross your mind that some of them were not just nouns, but also descriptors?
Yes. Is that a good thing?
Any thought on that?
Well, what's wrong with that?
No, nothing.
Oh.
No, I'm just trying to get into, get you to be imaginative. Nothing wrong. No judgments here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess they are descriptors. Yes. They describe me. Yeah.
Thank you. So
Thank
next, who is going to go next when I cut you off? Okay, I will point. Ruth, do you want to go next?
Sure. I am a dog. I am a warrior. I am a fighter. I am a friend.
Thank you. Any thoughts when you were doing this?
No, it's just what came to mind.
Okay, good. Thank you. Penny?
Okay. I am female. I am 72. I am single. I am creative, emotional, a sewer, a singer, a bike rider, a word game player, and last but not least, a mother.
Wow. You can put that as an ad in some kind of, I mean, that really describes you. It's amazing. And you're also a brilliant mask maker.
Well, I sew. I put that under a sewer.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Very good. Lisa.
I just thought that there was one word that you were requiring of us, so I just sat here sort of thinking of I am a searcher. And then as I think some more, I'm a seeker of awe. AWE.
Okay, wow. That's a poem, Lisa.
Well, as a matter of fact, it reminded me of a poem of mine that was put in an anthology by John B. Lee.
Yes. Do you have it with you? Can you read it to us later?
No, it's in a book somewhere.
Okay.
I don't have it in front of me.
Wow, thank you. What about you, Marie?
Sorry, just trying to unmute. I wrote, but like not all of mine are nouns.
That's okay. That was the exercises to see if you could do it and what came out.
Okay. I wrote, I'm a mother, a daughter, a friend, a body, a healing mind, an inspired, a writer, an artist. I am atoms. I am contradiction. I am love.
Wow. Thank you. Any thoughts when you were doing that?
Yeah, I had lots of thoughts about the whole noun thing. And then I kind of just wanted to write the things that I felt passionate about. And so that took over.
What were the thoughts about the whole noun thing?
That a lot of the things I wrote are verbs, I think, like they're action.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're more than just a noun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
I get what she's trying to do.
Cool.
Exactly. So Tanya, what about you?
Well, it's kind of short. I just put, I am a human, a soul, a spirit, an individual.
Wow, thank you. Any thoughts while you were doing that?
Well, yeah, because a lot of the words that I chose were not material. They were more than material. So that's it.
Wow, thank you. A soul sister too. Elaine, what about you?
Okay. Seamstress, maker, mother, daughter, sister, friend, lover, not lover. Trying to read. Human. And this was a new concept for me. So I don't know if it's a noun, but I really appreciated it. Was a thinker through thread. And did I say seamstress?
Did now.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
That's it.
Yeah, for me, I put down thinker as well. And I began to realize that I'm more than just a noun. Britta.
Righty-ho. I am a writer, a reader, an adventurer, a wife, a mum, that's the easy stuff done. I'm a baker of lopsided cakes. I'm a maker of wonky stuff. I'm a hugger, and that includes trees. I am curiosity. I am kindness and patience. Today, I am the unexpected guest from Caledonia.
Oh my God, you wrote a whole thing. Just like I've got goosebumps. That is so remarkable. Thank you. Yes, Robin, you're next.
Leave my camera on then. Yes, I did think about the whole noun, verb, adverb, whatever thing, because I immediately started writing action words, and then thought, oh, I better nounify everything. So I just turned them all into nouns. So I'm an artist, storyteller, creator, world builder, wanderer, wonderer, oddball, a literalist, and a conglomeration of moments.
A conglomeration of moments. Wow, thank you so much. Lobel.
I am a friend. I am an unfinished work of art. I am a person full of curiosity. I am a messy diversion, a clown, a starting point, a spiritual being, a container for grief, a mover, and I am someone who loves life.
Wow. Wow. Any thoughts while you were writing this?
I kept changing the things. I started with a really practical, just like I am a, I am a person, I am a daughter, I am, and then I tried to get a little bit more creative. So I was just inspired by others.
Wow. I'm so glad. Thank you. Michelle.
Hi.
Hi.
It's that thundercloud. I am more than a noun. I am sonic and sound. An activist. I'm a magical storyteller, a two-spirited, clairvoyant worker with one in food security. That's it for you all. Done.
Wow, I'm floating. Any thoughts while you were doing it?
Well, before I started, I was like saying I'm in my underwear. I'm kind of getting dressed here. That's why I'm on. I just kind of like proud of who I am. That's all.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Miigwech, thank you.
Kate.
These are all lovely lists. Enjoying them a lot. I am a weaver, a creator, photographer, hiker, mover, thinker, meditator, lover of trees, driver, cook, painter, carer, and changer. That seemed like enough.
Wow. I am a changer.
Changer.
Wow. What were your thoughts when you were doing this?
Yeah, my thoughts were, oh, wow, there's so many amazing things in life to do. And really how the trees kept coming back to me, and how much in nature there is to love. So it was woman, daughter, sister, human. So
anything else?
Not yet.
Okay, if anything else comes...
All.
Say that again?
All, A-L-L.
Oh, I am all. Actually, I'll tell you how I thought of this exercise. I went somewhere and somebody gave me one of those paper name tags.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of my name, it was hello, I am, and then underneath it, instead of my name, they put enough. And I went, absolutely, I am enough. And then I thought, well, I am more than just a noun, but this is the nouns that I am. That makes it, all of it, enough. So that's the root of how I got to do this. So now I'm going to ask people, if you brought something, if you could please share it with me.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Who's going to start?
What is it we're supposed to be doing?
Did you bring a piece that you could read and share?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought that's what you were asking, but I wasn't sure. I have several. I just want to look through and decide which one.
Okay. What about you, Josh?
I would have to search. I'm kind of new. I don't really have many pieces, but I'm going to look for something that I could share.
Wonderful.
Okay.
I can before I leave. Go ahead, Thundercloud. But you have to unmute.
I'm unmuted.
Okay, good.
Thundercloud. We are strong people, earning the wisdom to know who and why we are. Our tears are of pride, and our joy is to love ourselves. And that's called dedication to strong people.
Thank you so much. Would you read it again?
We are strong people, earning the wisdom to know who and why we are. Our tears are of pride, and our joy is to love ourselves, our communities, and our poets.
Thank you. You know, you could sing that. It's a song.
It was written as a song.
Isn't that amazing?
And
That's
it has
amazing.
been in thank you. It has been in a play on CKLN many moons ago. It evolved into a radio drama play about police brutality and other things, survivalship.
Wow. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I've had a great time. I have to sign off. Nice seeing everyone.
Well, it's always a pleasure. You know that. And just be well and safe.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye. Okay. Next. Ruth, do you want to recite something?
I know I'll pass. I'm just enjoying listening. Thank you.
Are you sure? Because you know you've got that wonderful thing that you wrote for Woman Voice, and you've got, you've got so many great pieces. Anyway, think about it.
The lead-in piece. This was something that we all did together, and is an example of how through Honey's work, she can get groups of people to make almost like a pearl necklace, string the words together. And these words came from a group when we were creating a piece called, it was a theater review of the work of the Friendly Spike Theater Band, called Not the Same Old Story, Alter Narratives of the Friendly Spike Theater Band. This is my story. It is a fact. I am real and I can act. All of us together are the Friendly Spike Theater Band. Pay attention. Listen. We hope you understand.
Thank you. Thank you always. What about you, Tanya?
Hi, Honey. Once again, thank you so much for like inviting me to attend this. To be quite honest, I don't have too many poems I've written. So this is something I wrote in June. So I wrote it in the summertime. Again, yeah, my apologies. I'm not very much a poetry writer. I called it Gladness in Sorrow. And then it goes like this. Madness and poetry are a beautiful thing. This is what you teach me, to not be afraid, to press forward and to follow where it means to take you. But I am afraid of emotions so powerful they overwhelm me, afraid of disclosing, unleashing the words I have held hostage for so long. But madness and poetry are beautiful. I can't deny this. They bring joy and freedom, sadness and sorrow. And so I will venture out for just a short distance and hope I don't get swept away with the rush.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
I know. I know.
Yes.
I know.
Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate it.
It is beautiful.
I know. A whole year, and look at you. You've been like a bud to a blossom. Yeah. Oh, I've got goosebumps. Did Low Bill leave without reading something? Low Bill, I have something. Marie, Low Bill, can you, I guess Low Bill left without reading something. Marie, please go ahead.
Okay, I've been working my way through memories and turning them into poems. So this is like younger me kind of in this poem. It's called Pubescent Fury. Pubescent fury, ache and explode, righteous and misplaced wrath brewing and bubbling, this hormonal body a cauldron, this beaker of betrayal, restricted, limitation of an adult's body, a child's mind, pubescent fury, desperate dance of independence, heady chorus of mixed signals shout louder than truth. Women's curves misfitted with child's expectations, pubescent fury storms to her father's office, small fists hammer a storm upon metal door. Adult arm furiously displayed forward in confrontation. Child's tears leak. Pale paper skin, haphazardly crisscrossed with stark red scratches. Furious father is frightened. Confused cries for help create chaos crescendo. Weep, pubescent fury.
Oh. Wow. Your love of poetry is so strong. You know, it's confirmation to me that this kind of love is so self-affirming. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Josh, did you find something?
I did find something too. It's kind of just like I tried to turn it into poetry, something I just wrote when I was feeling about it. So I'll just start. I thought I was destiny's child, yet why do I search for my fate? My desire for a purpose that fills me with hate. I'm always late, I'm never on time, yet time is something that doesn't exist anyway. I try to divide the minutes between friends, family, and my career, yet I find fear being the only thirst quenched. I go on and on about what I will be, yet I have been in the same spot in slow motion. I create commotion and excitement within the people around me, and their devotion once so strong for me becomes another fish in the ocean. I am drowning, gasping for air, comparing myself to the successes I see, the wonders of people driven and focused. When will I finally myself have the focus? When will I have the desire to build my grand empire? And have the ones I care about actually be cared about? When will I soar and spread my great wings among the currents and release myself from the concurrents that have anchored me to the floor? I am the ceiling, I am the top. I will reach the mountain top, and like a top, I will not stop until I topple over.
Oh my goodness, bravo! How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Is it proper for a lady to ask a gentleman his age?
I just turned 27 recently.
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So amazing, actually. Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
Penny, help. Bring me back to reality.
I'm sorry I didn't bring anything today. I'm sorry.
No problem. But if something comes to you, you'll let me know, right?
I will.
Excellent. Yes. And from Robin to everybody, I like to cadence. All right. Where am I here on the screen? Elaine.
Muted.
Yes, you're muted, Elaine.
Okay. Somebody posted something yesterday on Facebook, and I said, could I read it at something I was attending? It's about 4 lines, and then I'd like to read what I wrote as well.
Of course.
Okay. Sorry, I should have page numbers or something. Somebody else in the house, so hopefully they'll answer the phone.
Okay, tell them I'm not there, whoever is calling.
I will do that.
Okay, so I'll come back to you. So Britta, will you regale us again?
I'm not sure if I can do the regaling, but I'll give it a best shot. I didn't know we had to bring a piece, but I write a daily poetry blog anyway, so I'll just read you today's.
Oh my God.
It's nothing big. It's about a Christmas stocking, so don't get your hopes up. Right. The perfect Christmas stocking, handmade, one little snowflake attached to another, one more, until the stocking grows big enough for joy, wide enough for my rainbow hammock smile, and deep enough for the roots of all happiness. Plenty of holes and insignificant nothings, the everythings of life, luck, and love, held together by hopes and heartstrings, not all of them my own, that's the fun part. Great expectations will fall right through this colourful masterpiece, unashamedly so, along with all our waiting, wanting, the lot. Gaps sort priorities the quick and easy way. Who knew the secret of a perfect Christmas is basically an odd-shaped perforated sock?
Wow. I'm so happy you found us. Oh. Oh, just give me a minute, Elaine. Help. Bring me back to reality.
First, I'm from Scotland. I was born there. So I still appreciate. Anyway, okay, I cannot find Robert Anderson, what I wrote down. So you're just going to hear my.
Excellent.
Okay. If all the world became the cosmic library, we would float in gently, this being a place for breathing, this being a place of otherness, this being a place of rest and of next. We inhale, we exhale, slowly. Floating up to the desk, we ask our question. Our minds are weighed by the librarians, our meaning making, our demanding answers, our pattern recognition, screeching, stirring into this library of floating words. We see our fear arising. We watch the words attached to the fear. That's mine.
We watch the words attached to the fear. And so if the words become detached, does the fear go away?
I don't think so. I was sort of thinking of the sense of the arising sense that you find in Buddhism, that there is always an arising and basically gone. You know, that drawing in of the words and then the letting go. Anyway,
Wow.
that's fine.
Thank you. Welcome, Thérèse. Bonjour, bienvenue. Thérèse, what? El something or other. El Seneca Cayugas, Onondaga. Oh, oui, bon. Comment ça va? Non? Tu es silence? Okay. So next, Lisa. Yay, Lisa is amazing, people. I'm giving you the warning. She's a ranter. A brilliant
Can't hear you,
ranter.
Yvonne.
What? What?
I used to, honey. I have ranted and raved about the world's ills, sometimes in poetry form. But I'm referring now to not to resistance poetry. I'm calling it journalistic poetry because I think it's important to present information that is not well known and is you very rarely see it in different places. So I came across my poem that I wrote back in 2019 when Trump was still the president in the United States. And can you hear me all right?
I can.
Yes. Okay. It's first titled, I Don't Believe, Musings About the World. I don't believe there's any use in prayer to stop mass shootings in US or elsewhere because it has not. I don't believe Trump helps people if he ever would. stopping a boat to Venezuela carrying food, paper towels in Puerto Rico, not much good. I don't believe Trump's hindrance of Cuban doctors who are healing, sabotaging their work, shows he's cruelly unfeeling as they service people in 60+ countries. I don't believe separating children from their mothers to live in barred cages, families away from each other, makes America great again. I don't believe LA Colombia has any rule of law. 700 activists murdered, emotions are raw, more than 100,000 are missing. I don't believe Maduro is a dictator, democracy not up for barter. Elected with a majority, don't forget Jimmy Carter lauded that country's elections. Shall I continue, or is this enough? I've got a few more verses, but I'm continuing in the same vein.
Well, you know, I love it, but I don't speak for everybody. So if there's any objections, speak now.
Okay. My poetry is bound to offend maybe some people, but that's
good.
okay.
Then it's true poetry.
I don't believe capitalism is humanity's best plan. Lives destroyed, in the White House sits a madman. Ecosystems at risk. I don't believe the US is a democracy. More people in jail than any other country. A penal system good for business. I don't believe there's only one path to choose, that of unending wars US continues to lose, with enough racism and hatred for all. I do believe Russians are better materially than before, but 3 out of 4 yearn for its past to restore when it was socialist. I don't believe corporate money's in charge of our states, will stop global warming, stop using their money as bait, and a apocalypse may be our fate. That's the end of the poem.
Brava, brava. I love it when people, you know, believe that poetry, you know, helps. And I think, to me, I mean, people don't know Lisa. I've known her for decades. She's been one of the most influential people of my life. Through Lisa's recommendation, I got to sing the Canadian and Cuban national anthems at Toronto City Hall for 21 years. And that's, you know, and that's because of her commitment allowed me to make a commitment. So what you say in poetry, you know, it's based on that commitment, and that's why we're here. We're committed to ourselves, essentially, not to some kind of, you know, esoteric theory. We're here because, you know, we have something to say. We all need to be heard. And if there's an argument, then it means that what you've said is important. It doesn't.
May I read one more that shows that I don't only deal with politics?
I don't see any objections.
It's remember that movie on Golden Pond with Henry Fonda and Jane Fonda? Well, I wrote a poem after that, Before I Drown in Golden Pond. If I may, I'll just read it quickly. I don't pee when I sneeze, enjoy shooting the breeze. I don't lose my keys, crosswords done with ease. Still interested in birds and bees, enrapture my life with flowers and trees. And when I breathe, there's not even a wheeze. I control the pain in my knees. In a crowd, I'm the eminence breeze. On final accounts, I've paid all my fees. I've been climbing my ladder of life, and its last rung's in sight. Close to my heart, I do seize my family, my friends, political colleagues and enemies. Celebrate, would you please?
Yes, yes, yes. Celebrate, would you please? Thank you. So who's going to go next? Robin. Oh, yes, please. Kay, Robin, Kathy, Kay. Anybody? First come, first serve.
Kathy, want to?
Unmute.
Okay. Okay, this is a poem about releasing negativities and bringing more positivity into yourself, into your life. So I think it's a good poem for this time of year, and the end of the old year and the beginning of a new year. Let's hope it'll be a better year. Release. The wounds still ache down through the many years, and alas, no tears, but hot volcanic words spew from lips. My heart solidly pumped blood to extremities, to fight or flight, the stumbled steps, the judgment in eyes and laughter. Would I ever be redeemed? Punched and sent reeling, well, don't think you're so smart, they chastised, though the need to follow such as that themselves was admonished by the wise. Fool the not a fool, but then fool again. By being fooled 3 times 3, would I ever be redeemed? Visceral pain radiating. The other all steeled against me, with heart of anger, pride, and unforgiving. Forgive, but in truth, not followed faithfully by self each time. Indeed, be kind with self and others, learn your lessons, and fall into that sweet, gentle place of the loving guide, who tenderly places his words of grace around you like a warm embrace. Don't judge yourself in them so very much. We all want that love, though some so bitter snatch it. Yes, forgive, and see where they were coming from. Be peacefully loving and practice your hard lessons, and be not foolish, or gently said by the kind, sweet women with eyes and hearts of angels. You shouldn't talk to her like that, nor she to you, but it's simply pain coming through. Thank you, sweet women, the ones with gentle hearts, their lovingness resounding in my ears and grateful memory. Take it till you make it, sometimes do, or change yourself till you make yourself into that better someone. Yes, create your better self, nay. Thus release the hate and anger, and place instead the love that can heal the gaping wound in one's loving self, and try to rest in peace to face another day.
Oh, brava. So this was written to yourself?
Yes, I wrote it, I think this year, sometime a few months ago. And it's going to be published in a national newspaper.
Which one?
The Nikkei Voice.
Brava!
Yeah.
Brava!
Yeah. Do you have any critique of it?
Sorry? No
critique. Do you have any critique of it?
No. Why would I do that?
Well, I'm just saying anything. Bravo.
No, my only comment is that, you know, it's written to you. So you're finding the power of, you know, what your essence through this word, the word as a gesture, the word as a friend, the word is power.
That's healing.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, honey.
Robin, what about you with that great line in the chat? What's that line here? Voices of artists, the gestures who point out the naked emperor. No kidding, if they have the courage to do so.
I was thinking that during the poem with the Trump and all of that stuff, because yeah, I think that's the job, all the political cartoonists and all the artists and all the poets and all the you know, performers going, we got to look at the world. And it isn't just the emperor that we're looking at everything. Okay, I have, I didn't actually know I was supposed to bring something, but I am working on something. So I mentioned I'm going to be working on a video later today, so I'm going to give you a little backstory to this poem. This was written on Friday, and I was having a big struggle with it. And usually I'm pretty good at getting poems and rhymes and whatever out of my brain. And I was struggling with this one, and it's for a video for a puppet slam. So it's going to be all puppetry. And I have a little, and it's to the theme of Festivus. Does anybody know what Festivus is? It's December 23rd, and there's various little rituals, and it's from a guy from a Seinfeld episode. His family did something that wound up in a Seinfeld episode, and now people do it. So it's like a little anti-holiday. And one of the things that people do there is they air their grievances, which I didn't see. I don't quite understand the thing, so I don't quite understand how the airing of the grievances is supposed to be. So I was like, I'll write a poem. So the poem is coming from the perspective of a little character named What, and her first grievance is that all the other characters are eating her shoes because she lives with like dragons and wolves and things. So she's essentially like a little girl, but they're all like animals and things. And there's a gag where one of the characters spits out her boot at the table. So I wrote the poem, and a friend of mine has yesterday put music to it. No, sorry, I wrote it on Saturday. He put music to it on Sunday. It is now Monday. So, and that was a really phenomenal experience. If you have musician friends, give them one of your poems. And what you will get back will just astound you. I was like, he took it to an extreme. It was beautiful. Anyway, here's the rant, and it's supposed to sound a bit like a rant. It's been a wacky year. Things were supposed to get better, but it feels like it's raining and things just keep getting wetter. Sure, there needs to be rain in order for flowers to grow, and I don't mind the cold outside. I like to play in the snow. But I'm tired of hearing about COVID. It's so awful and won't go away. And all of the people not being respected, no one listening to what they have to say. Capitalism is running rampant. Entitlement and greed are on the rise. Climate change will make everything worse. When will we realize that things just won't get better if we don't stop paying our dues? It's like having awful family members who keep eating all your shoes. So,
when can we see this? When can we hear the music?
It's going to be for a Puppet Slam that's actually going to air on Festivus on December 23rd. I don't remember which Puppet Slam it is, though. I'm getting it confused with the Winnipeg Puppet Slam. I don't think it's that one, because I was just in that one, and I don't think they're doing another. I will get the information for the slam, and I will put it in the credits. I'm thinking video thoughts in the chat. I'm not sure that I'm going to have my character say the poem. I'll show you a puppet real quick.
Yes, please. And are you like a Betty Boop girl? Is that your t-shirt?
Oh, no, this is actually from a Japanese animation.
Oh.
There's a character that boops another character's nose. And, yeah, it became a t-shirt. But my husband and I like boop. So, and actually there's a crow we follow online, a live crow that goes.
God. Oh my God, that's my relative.
I'm actually wearing it for that. So it might be, I might take my friend's song, like he sang it, and I might have the crow singing it to What.
Wow.
And I made this last night, and he's not finished. He's got no legs yet. He's not finished.
Oh my God. I'm so happy you found us. Thank you, Robin.
I'm one of the other participants in Figment. So
you should be loud and proud. Wow. I'm so thrilled. What about Kate Kitchen?
Hang on. So this is something I wrote in April this year. And up until 2 weeks ago, I was in a very quiet river valley where my art studio is. And it was so very, very silent, and there was no internet connection, well, very little. And so I was writing every day. And this is not surprisingly called Quiet.
Of what?
Oh,
They make them better than me. They're not. No one's better. Sorry.
Kathy, could you please mute? Thank you.
it's called Quiet. Over and over, I write the word quiet. That is a description of my life now. Trillium have been quietly living their winter life underground, and they are arriving, green amid brown leaves, sprinkled with drops of rain. I post them as my story, and that feels right. The Trillium and I have been living our quiet winter life. My emergence with the spring can also be seen with my laundry hanging on the line, swaying slightly with the breeze. And there it is, a scarf on the loom, coffee brewing in the kitchen, gratitude for the landline, and caring friends far away and close in my heart.
Wow. I'm still picturing stuff. I have to come back to earth.
Mm.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, and you are one of those friends.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'd like to share one of mine,
Yes.
if you don't mind.
Great.
Comments are always appreciated. When the world is on fire. When the world is on fire, do you close your eyes, ignore it? Do you? Fueled by racial discrimination, this conflagration is a spirit abomination. This is my nation, home of my education, playground of my indoctrination to a world of justification, looking for integration, knowing that communication is the way forward. I say I want a revolution, a human revolution. It's going to have to start with me. The only solution for this revolution has to start with me. We are all in the same war, but not all in the same trenches. These flames are deep, embedded. We need more than hammers and wrenches. Reformation, inner reformation takes transformation, no longer subjugation, seeing ourselves as real. Coexistence, human transformation, my own revolution, lighting my way and seeing you. So how is everybody's energy? Are we all good? Would you like to go on to something completely different? What is this? You can register for Robin's workshop, how to make a fun sock stick puppet on Sunday, December 19th, 10 in the morning. Wow, love the revolution. Okay, so I just wanted to say, it would be so great if we could all keep in touch. I don't know if that's part of Figment's, if Figment is okay with that, but I'd like to put my contact email in the chat, just because I think this is such a great group of people. I mean, it's just so amazing. Of the people that I don't know, I'm blown away by Josh and Marie and Britta and Robin, and Kay's support. And Therese, I don't know you. I can see you, and I'm so thrilled that you're here. And to see Tanya a year later, it just, it just makes my heart go, this is what it's all about. So anyway, I'm going to just do that. Roxanne, yes, we can. Okay, I'm just going to do it. And then I want to go somewhere different. Okay. So I want to go into sound poetry, at least not completely, but I want to read something to you. Listen, mister, and you'll hear so-and-so's budget for all next year. So what did you hear when I did that? Listen, so-and-so, and you shall hear so-and-so's budget for all next year. Any thoughts or comments? Did you hear? Yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking that it was a really wide open charge. It could go to so many different places because economic budgets are what is sort of shaping a lot of our world. Anyway, or else can budgets be other than dollars? Sorry, that's it for me.
No. So you heard the words, not the rhythm.
I heard.
Right? Okay. So
I heard the rhythm too, but
okay.
It emphasized the words to me. Maybe that's not what I should be looking for.
Oh, no right, no wrong. I do these things specifically because there's more than one answer. So there can't be right or wrong. If you heard words, you heard words. I read words. So there's a literal aspect, but I hear the rhythm. That's the musician within me. And that's primarily where I come from, is from a place of the music within me. So having said that, I'm going to get rid of the words and just read to you the sounds. Do 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 do. Okay? So you may hear something different. It may inspire you to go somewhere. I don't know, and it doesn't really matter. It's just an approach. It's just one approach. This is another. This is actually from the curriculum from school about sound poetry. And the first thing they ask is, can you hear a poem? Which doesn't necessarily mean words. So, right from where you're sitting for a few seconds, just be silent. You may hear the sound of your breath. You may hear, as in Roxanne's case, them digging up Queen Street. You may hear traffic. You may hear a clock ticking. You may hear your heartbeat. You may hear thoughts. You might hear a television. You might hear footsteps. So just spend a few seconds in silence. It's the most active form of listening you can imagine, is listening to the silence. What do you hear? Does it make a difference if you close your eyes? So in essence, you are learning to see with your ears.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Every time I sit and try to listen to silence, I always have such a strong sound in my ears. of my heart beating and my blood moving through my body. And I keep like wanting to not hear those sounds, like if I'm sitting in silence.
Is it possible for you to write, for you to write the beats? Like, for example, I can't really show you because I don't know how to do that. But for example, if all you hear is your heartbeat, if you could just write like a stroke, and just to see if perhaps you can get a poem out of that. Da, 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 da. I don't know. It's just something to try. I do it with my pulse. I've been doing it for decades with my pulse. I'm a survivor of kidney disease, and when I was dealing with it and I was in bed all the time, I used to put my finger on my pulse and I would listen to the beat of my pulses, and that's where I got my music from, and that's where my poetry came from, was the connection between the sound of my blood and the sound of waves. I don't know that it'll work for you, but just a suggestion. And I took a course last week, and the facilitator said, as you're sitting, lean to one side and just see how you feel if you lean to one side. And keep it there for about 10 or 20 seconds. It's a long time, 10 or 20 seconds. And then move to the other side. And then come back to the center. And just see if there's a difference. I find it very energizing. So in your listening to the silence, can you add a color? Can you add a color to your silence?
Soft sky blue.
What?
A soft sky blue.
Wow. So if you still have your pens and papers, can you write down a phrase or a statement from actively listening to the silence? And just keep it to one line only. If you've done one line, can you try two? Capture a second sound in words and write it on another line.
Honey, can you say that again?
Yes. So in your silence, right? So what you see with your ears, capture that in one sentence only.
Okay.
And then do it again, like do a second one. See if you can come up with a second line in your form of active listening.
Okay.
And don't think about it too much. Just allow the sounds and the images to come to you, even if they make no sense. Preferably if they make no sense. Like for me, it was, I don't know where this came from. Green cymbals clap their petals. And if you can do 1 and 2, go for a third. And if you can do 3, go for 4. The only thing I'm going to request is that you do not do more than 10. When it comes to 10, quit. But if you don't get as far as 10, that's good. I can only do 3 at this point. If you finished, just put a little, reaction, like, something, just so that I'll know that you're finished. And if you need more time, please take it. So, I'm asking you to be silly. So who's got the courage to share being silly? So I'm just going to give you like another minute or so to finish up, and then I would love to hear what you wrote. Britta, how's your energy? Are you about ready to go to bed?
It's not that late here. It's just 20 to 9. So
okay.
It's not my bedtime just yet.
Okay.
How long is it supposed to be, the poem?
No more than 10 lines.
Oh. Mine is not funny.
What?
Mine is not humorful.
I can't hear you, sorry. Can you speak into the mic?
Mine is not humorous.
That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Okay, everybody. Well, why don't we go with the non-humorous Elaine Stewart?
Okay.
And then we'll go with the non-humorous Marie S.
The heart, it whispers inside my ear.
Sorry, Elaine, talk into the mic.
Sorry. The heart, it whispers inside my ear. The loud, smooth, continuous background is not shifting. I hear, I wonder, hearing life pounding, an underground hidden sound of life progressing.
Oh my goodness, you did that in less than 5 minutes. I think that deserves a pat on the back, but I can't do it. So this is the best I can do. Just a minute. There you go. There's your pat on the back.
Thank you.
Marie?
Okay, I just described what I was hearing. Motor vehicle strokes pavement, hums.
Sorry, can you talk into the mic?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, motor vehicle strokes pavement, hums, swells, and recedes. Gray static fuzz, polluted white noise. Babbling brook of human voice breaks like waves. Wind chimes sprinkle sparkles of sound. Pencil scratch deafening. Thoughts louder than an urban orchestra.
Oh my God, less than 5 minutes? That's a masterpiece. Okay, somebody come bring me back to reality. Who's next? Yes, Kathy, go.
It doesn't make sense, but just
Good.
Don't try to be that way. Don't try to go away. My heart banging anger in my ears. Awful Sane Swehoa, awful Sane Swehoa. Ancestors of this land, speak to me.
Wow, music.
Yeah.
Kathy wrote music.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Lisa, you were first to finish.
Well, I just, did it very quickly, and I wasn't sure it was supposed to be a poem. I just wrote a few lines here. We have a park outside the windows, so here goes. The trees demand their due from immutable concrete, noises overbearing against the nurturing silences of winter sleep. Everyday tasks of eating, cutting, arranging evaporate the sounds of growth and sleep. My husband was chomping on something.
Oh, amazing. I love it. And you told us your husband was chomping on something, but you didn't write it in your poem.
Well, that's what gave me the idea of the everyday tasks that kind of overwhelm all this other meditation about the silences around us.
Thank you. What about Ruth? Were you able to come up with something?
I was able to think of something, but I didn't write it because of my hand issue. Pink roses smell so sweet. Pink roses in a heap. Pink roses in your petals, let me sleep.
Wow. Do you want me to write that down for you, or will you memorize it?
It's just a memory.
Okay.
Roses. But thank you.
Thank you. What about Tanya?
Hi. Thank you, honey, for the prompt. I was following your instructions, so I actually just wrote 4 lines.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Here goes. My spirit awakens with ideas of peace and love. My breath encourages a future strength. Where will we all be in the next moment? Out of my silence, I hope.
Wow. Ending on the word hope.
You're a poet activist.
Yes.
Oh, thank
absolutely.
you. You're too kind. Thank you.
Thank you. What about Britta?
Righty-ho. My silence. My silence is deep midnight blue and tidal. The traffic outside flows like a newly dredged river in the distance, grey sludge, subdued, not wanting to disturb much, appreciated. A clock on my wall, on the other hand, coughs up little spouts of sick like there's no tomorrow. Better out than in, I reckon. Go see a doctor. My fridge clearly has a stomach problem, slurps and gurgles, indigestion making its life troublesome. maybe beyond therapy, that one. My silence is deep midnight blue and tidal, a force of nature, strong and beautiful. No traffic, no clock, not even the fridge can enter this fortress. This is my silence. I'm quite protective, and so is she.
Wow. Wow. You're so amazing. So Kate Kitchen, what about you?
Well, I sort of came up with 4 lines. Silence is not silent. Buzzing comes from within the ear. No need to mention it. That's it. And I mentioned it.
I love it. Humor. Yes, humor. So Robin, have you like left the building or no? Oh, I see you running. Can you share with us?
Sorry, I had tea going on and the whistle was another sound.
Yes, indeed.
I restricted myself to 4, and I apologize for my rummaging around. I'm getting ready for the video shoot, so my apologies that I'm up and down. I am listening. The hum tries to cover the symphony of ticks, whirs, clicks, beats, tick, 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 whirs, zzz, tick, tock. The hiss, the hum overrides the buzz between my ears. The landscape around me, myself in the middle, hemmed in by untouchable sounds. I am not part of the orchestra, though I try to be. I am the stage.
Wow. My God, that can be used in one of your plays. I'm serious. Wow.
Audio is a huge factor in storytelling with puppets. There's so much visual, but then the sound really brings things real.
It's not just audio, it's silence. I'm sorry, I don't mean, whoops, erase, reset. It's the ability to listen. You know, we all need to be heard. We all want to be heard. It's the ability to listen that is the connector. When people communicate, it's how we listen. And it's also how we miscommunicate is the way we listen. So it's very important. And that's why I do these things, you know, just to challenge the senses, because ultimately poetry is the language of the senses. So Josh, we haven't heard from you.
All right. Mine's kind of a poem, kind of not, but here we go. So, melancholy bliss, a moment of peace, release of expectation, unsigning the lease. Streets bustling, people chattering, but is anything of importance happening? Dewdrops settle on a blade of grass. Can you hear the drip? Heart pumping, beating fast. I run and run, but will my thoughts migrate with the sun? Flies fly, why? Please take me with you.
Beautiful.
What can I say? Take me with you. Are you in Toronto?
I'm Hamilton.
You're in Hamilton. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, you'll have to come write with me and Marie one day.
Yes, I will. I have a very good friend that I've been meaning to visit in Hamilton, and I would love to do it. Send me an email.
All right, will do. I got it written down.
Yeah, the more incentive that I have. You know, I actually started my career. There used to be an organization in Hamilton called Poets for Peace. And they gave me an opportunity to use poetry in the name of activism. And so I used to go to Hamilton all the time.
Nice. Well,
yeah.
I look forward to seeing you.
Well, send me an email.
Will do.
Thank you. Penny, last but not least.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, when I listen to the silence, sometimes I hear the sounds the city makes. When I listen to the silence, sometimes I hear a gentle humming. When I listen to the silence, sometimes I hear myself listening to the silence. When I listen to the silence, I hear my heart and my breath.
What an amazing, amazing way to end. My heart and my breath. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Penny, for being here. Everybody, this is mine. Green cymbals clap their petals, swaying to and fro, spraying mist on thoroughfares. And that's it. Just nothing.
That's
You know,
awesome.
just an exercise in the imagination. So I'm going to kind of like bring us home. Is there any thoughts or comments or requests or suggestions or even criticisms?
I have a little thought, and this is most directly related to the sound exploration that we were just doing, is I find it interesting that there are, and I think this occurred in other ones too, there are words and concepts that we are having similarly. And I don't know if that's because, like hum, orchestra, heartbeat, floral images, I don't know. I wonder, it would be an interesting exploration. Is that because we are here in this room together, or is it because we are here humans together? So
I don't know. I thought it was because we were all like city people.
Or yeah, the sounds of the things around us are related because we all have computers, we all have traffic, we have these universal truths that we share.
Common humanity coming out in poetry.
Say that again. I didn't hear that comment.
It's common humanity coming out in our poetry.
Yes. Yes, I hope so. Because that's always, my goal is to find the common humanity, because, I can only speak for me, but I'm controversial on many levels, and I get into snits with people. And the only way out of it is to find common ground. To me, that's the road to peace, is to find common ground, because nothing else is really of value. That's just my opinion. Any other thoughts or comments?
That was wonderful, honey. Thank you so much.
Like I say, Ruth is the pole to my flag.
What an honor.
Thanks, honey.
Thank you, honey.
Thanks, Kate. Good to
Thank you,
hear
everyone.
your voice.
Thank you.
Enjoy.